Welcome back, guys. This is Robo. Today, let's talk about how Gen Z is getting absolutely financially destroyed right now. No, it's more than that. They're being completely enslaved. Gen Z has so little ownership in society, jobs pay so little, and demand so much of workers that they just simply can't afford to work. Nowadays, you need to have years of job experience, a multi-thousand-dollar investment in a car, and a completely open schedule just to toil away all day for $12 an hour at your average job. This is completely unacceptable. How can you live on that pay? How can you afford to have the prerequisites for the very job you're working with pay like that? I've had so many employers act surprised that I didn't take the job that seriously. Don't get me wrong, I've always done a good job and done everything asked of me by my managers at each of my jobs. However, I didn't treat all of these jobs as worth anything more than doing a good job, not a great job. And trust me, I believe in giving whatever you're doing your all, even if it's not an ideal situation. But when I'm barely being paid enough to survive, I simply can't afford to give it my best. If I put in absolute maximum effort every day at a job that pays me $12 an hour, I will burn out, get sick, and then I wouldn't be able to perform any of my work duties. See, even if you did what your employer asked, you'd still burn out and it simply just wouldn't work. What they're asking isn't just unfair or too much. It just plain and simple doesn't even work for them. The absolutely stupid, brain-dead idea of just push your workers to the bone every day is so extremely childlike. It's like a toddler banging their hands on the table to get fed faster. It's very primal and immature. That's the kind of brainwaves these employers operate on. It's just unga bunga. Work harder, slave. But see, I've learned after working many jobs over the last decade that that's exactly the point. These corporations have so much power and resources, they don't have to be efficient. Being efficient, after all, is for those that need to be efficient. Budgeting isn't for the rich, it's for the poor. Just look at Congress. The last thing in the world they do is budget. Meanwhile, poor people have to be efficient with their resources. They don't have a choice. So it makes perfect sense, really. See, thing is, the goal itself is to work you to the point of being absolutely drained of everything, and then dump your dead corpse to the side and replace you with the next desperate poor person. They can, so why wouldn't they? See, as a young man, I made the mistake of thinking these monsters were much more moral and tame than they really are. I thought these types of people were simply ignorant or unaware of how cruel they were. Nope. I learned as a man that this world is full of people that, given the chance, would gladly destroy your entire life and put you into terrible torture to make $5 before taxes at the end of a sales period. They'll do it in a heartbeat, and they'll do it with a big smile on their face. Don't make that mistake, guys. There are people that are actually that evil, and there's lots of them. And until more men realize this, that these kinds of slimy motherfuckers have power and rule us, we can't make real change. If the average worker assumes these employers are just naive or well-meaning, instead of seeing them as they really are, they'll readily make excuses to defend them. They'll do this in hopes they'll get a few more dollars an hour on a promotion. And see, I think Gen Z has made this realization in mass. I'm actually very optimistic about the future with Gen Z's terrible work attitude. They have the balls to do what previous generation couldn't do. And I respect the hell out of them for that. Keep up the good work, guys. In the meantime, we're going to have to work with what little resources we have. But I'll tell you, I think I see a new kind of lifestyle emerging around the world. One where you work a few part-time gigs, cut all your bills out, and simply chill. It's what I'm doing right now. And I gotta say, it's a bit challenging, but not too bad after all. It really feels like going on lots of side quests in an RPG. There, in fact, are many people who are homeless in their car or in the woods and simply living a low-stress, adventurous lifestyle. I personally think many Gen Z will end up like this, and I'd advocate for it as a young man. Not because it's ideal, but if given the options between being a slave who can't even afford an apartment or being a free adventurer who has the liberty to enjoy life at my own pace, I'd much rather be the latter. Not saying it's for everyone, just possibly for people who have no other options. Think of it like being an adventurer in D&D. You're getting what you have together and going on an exciting quest for a better life. You don't need much to simply go on an adventure. It just takes a bit of courage. Everyone wants to be the heroic adventurer, but when given the opportunity, would you take it? Thank you guys for watching. Stay awake. This has been Red Pilled Robo. I'm shutting down until next time.